Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Don Shanks, along with Alan Hudson. Welcome to Football Uncensored Podcast. We're here in Gran Canaria, at our friend Mike and Tracy's place. Our normal place, as you know, is the Gloucester Grosvenor Casino, Alan. Unfortunately, they're all under lockdown at this present time, but if you do fancy a sports bet, you can always go online to grosvenorcasino.com. Looks very tanned. We're obviously in a sunny climate here. Alan, you enjoying your stay here?
I feel quite guilty, Donald, to tell you the truth.
You do?
You know, well, all my friends and family back home sitting indoors, it's but you and I, we have to make the most of it, don't we?
Well, we had the opportunity to go away. You ain't been in the best of health over the last couple of years, so it's nice to sort of get away. We got a lot to talk about this week. Starting with the Nations League, England's performances. Obviously, the deciding game for us to continue really was the game against Belgium. Got beat 2-0. What do you think of it?
I felt beforehand it was all about if Belgium played a side that wanted to win the game, they would win it. It was all about the team and that's the way it worked out. They had the big players in. De Bruyne played, Hazard played, and the game finished after 20 minutes.
From England's point of view, I mean, we watched the game with a friend of ours, Phil from Stoke, a crazy Stoke City fan, has his own opinion on lots of things, and I could see us getting back in the game when we're 2 down, but the only reason we were going to get back in the game is because they were basically saying, well, we're 2 up, we're just going to let you have the ball and play. And that's where I felt like, Grealish, who we spoke about in the past. Grealish, Raheem Sterling, Miss Sterling, and Harry Kane, to me, are the 3 English players that can take England to a major final somewhere.
I'm a bit worried about the other 7. But we when it comes to quality, we play teams like Belgium. As good as Harry Kane is, I think he's possibly the best centre forward in the world. If he played for the top team, if he played for Benfica or Real Madrid, he would.
He's literally like the Lone Ranger up there, isn't he? He's sort of coming back, getting it. He's turning. He's having a go. He's trying to get shots off, bringing people. He needs help in there.
Well, he does, yeah. But he's captain. He carries a load, unbelievable. I remember 2 or 3 years ago when he started, and when Pochettino first picked him, and he was down the pecking order at Tottenham, and he come through and he improved him. And I was raving about him, and obviously Chelsea supporters don't like Tottenham, but they said he's not as good as what you think, and they don't say it no more because they're embarrassed, because this fella. Chelsea have been looking for a centre forward for so long, and this fella is the best of the lot. I mean, if you take him out of the Tottenham team, they'd be in trouble. They wouldn't be top. They wouldn't be second from the top without Harry Kane. Son's a good player, but they're in a very, very false position. I think it speaks volumes for how good Harry is.
Oh, there's no doubt. Obviously, the back end last year he got injured. He was running for the Golden Boot, and all of a sudden he's out for the last, whatever it was, 10, 12 games. I've said in the past, when I first seen him, I didn't really rate Harry Kane, watch him on TV. But then I see him one day play for Tottenham at QPR, and it completely changed my opinion of him. When you watch a game live, it's totally different to me. Watching a game on TV, watching a game live, where you see the players' movement off the ball, you see what they contribute when they haven't got the ball. And he was absolutely brilliant.
I mean, Don, that's much like I say to lads in our local. They laugh at me. They talk about football. I said, "Well, you've never been on the field with these people. You've got to be close up. You've got to be close up and personal with them. And when you've played against people like Cruyff and people like Pelé, they look great players on television, and it's like watching. You can't believe your eyes, but when you're actually on the field with them and 10 yards away from them and they do what they do, you go, wow. So no, I can understand what you say about seeing Harry close up, because I've never seen him like that live. I've seen him on telly, but he's so impressive.
It's like my dad used to say to me, like when I was sort of a kid just breaking into it. He said, "Why didn't you stop him?" I said, "Oh, I tried to stop him, just couldn't." This is what quality star players are.
Well,
they've got that bit of difference. They've got the complete game.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about, obviously, the main man in the talking points throughout the world now. Everybody wants to buy him all of a sudden. We put him up 2 years ago, or you did. You was a big fan. Jack the lad, Mr. Grealish.
I've loved him from day one. From the first time I ever see him, he
Oh, by the way, sorry, but Harry Redknapp made a big mention in the Sun last week.
Yeah, my friend.
He said he was very similar to the guy sitting next to me, Mr. Hudson.
He is very similar. He's, apart from his haircut. No, he's very similar because he's got that. He's got that fantastic. You know, when you see him lead the England team out or lead the Villa team out, it gives the fans a lift because he's that confident in his own ability. And I think with the talent and the ability he has got, I mean, he's been knocked down and knocked down and knocked down. The England managers has tried to rape him of everything he's got, and he's come back and he's haunted Southgate.
Yeah,
he's haunted him into picking him because he just made. He had two choices, and we said
it was just performance after performance after performance.
Yeah,
against the top teams, you know, the Liverpools, you know, the Arsenals, everybody he plays against, he has an impact. Whether it's like getting the ball off the defence, just giving them a little bit of breather, keeping the ball, knocking it about, he very rarely loses it.
Well, absolutely, and that Belgium are rated the #1 team in the world at the moment, and the last 45 minutes we were out of the game, but he was the only one that looked like it could break them down. And so you said he done it against Arsenal. He was fantastic against Liverpool in the 7-2 win, and he's done it against the world's best team. It's just the others around him that.
But what is his problem though with England managers? I mean, you got what, 2 caps, was it?
2 caps, 1 too many.
Bowlesy got 5. Frank got only a few. Tony Curry only got a few.
Yeah, Charlie George hardly any. Jimmy Green of none.
It's just been the norm for the hierarchy or the whoever's manager just to pick these players who aren't the Mavericks, who aren't sort of like flamboyant, who aren't, you know, they just want to pick people who seem to get a job done, and they don't seem to realise that if you watch Grealish the last 2 games, every England player is getting the ball and trying to find him there.
Absolutely.
Because they know this guy makes a difference. And they know getting it to him gives us a much better chance. Why couldn't Southgate see this before?
Because he's one of those coaches that we watched last night. We watched a little bit of the England-West Germany game in 1975, and you mentioned we scored 2 goals from quick free kicks.
Yeah.
Where there was no coaching involved, no on the I've seen it in the dressing room where they
just use your own initiative, bang, done it.
See it, do it, yeah. Well, Jack sees it and does it. Where he wants players who are robotic. The word's been used so many times, and we're fed up with the word. But they're the kind of players he needs. But he's been actually forced to pick them. He's forced to come out the other day to the press and say he was fantastic in the second half. But
I mean, even in defeat, I did feel that, like, I felt the game before where he played him 60 minutes and brought him off, I felt that was telling me that he's going to play him, start him against Belgium. And I also felt that, well, you're really throwing him in the deep end here against the so-called #1 team in the world. Yet he still went out and just performed. But it's almost like he's gone in there and in the back of his head, I'm thinking, does he really want him to really, really play well?
Absolutely. Yes.
You know, as opposed to send him out in a game where all of a sudden we're going to get a good victory, pick him up for the next game. You know, as my friend Mickey Conway said earlier on, he said when a player's out there and does something well, you don't want to be taken off. You want to be continuing playing, make another impression, get some confidence back, get a few goals in the net, and just picks you up for the next game.
Well, absolutely. Like a striker, we all know about a striker. He can have a barrel not score for 10, 12 games. He scores 1 and that's it, isn't it? They're like, I'm waiting for bus.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting sort of debate hearing Southgate speak afterwards. Whenever they're talking about Grealish, it reminds me of someone talking about someone who's 17, 18. He's 27, Jack. He's been around a while.
Yeah.
You know, he's been playing well in a mediocre side for a couple of years.
In the lower league.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden he's made an impact. He's got his freedom. As you said, the manager, Dean Smith, made him captain. They sort of took him to another level.
They give him that responsibility, Don. Yeah, and you can't ask for more than that. And as you say, it's quite incredible. The kid's, we call him a kid because he's just come on the scene, but he's 27 years of age. I mean, he's missed 5-6 years of international football because he was good enough when he was 21. He hasn't changed much. It's just that he's been playing in teams that have been inferior.
See, that's what my belief is. This quite simply, they all keep talking about building for the future, doing this. We've got to create a nucleus of these young guys coming through. Grealish should have been playing 3-4 years ago. Raheem Sterling, I like him. You don't like him so much. Harry Kane. Those three players are all capable of doing something special, and they do it more than other players do. Harry does it on a regular basis. Sterling's a bit hit and miss, and Jack, a different sort of position he's playing, but he does it on a regular basis as well. Creates. I know the free kick count. The free kicks that he gets is astronomical.
Yeah.
All the time. So now we want someone like that Ward Prowse or someone to come and start taking these free kicks and scoring a few goals for us.
Yeah. But Jack is, no doubt about it, we'd all like to read what's going on in Southgate's mind, but we do know that he doesn't want that type of player in the team. But as we said a couple of shows ago that his name should be in the middle of the team, and the team should be built around him. That young Trippier was on telly. As he said, it's just a pleasure to have him in training. He's fantastic in training. He's fantastic in the dressing room. He's fantastic when he plays. I mean, it seems that Southgate is the only one that don't agree with us.
He hasn't bought in early enough, has he? It's almost like he's been pressured into playing him. Now he's playing him. Now he loves him. Well, okay, it's all right now, but everyone's been saying for a couple of years how good he is.
Well, he says he loves him, but does he love him?
Well, I mean,
it's a big difference.
Obviously, a lot of people love Grealish, and I mean, the interesting thing right now is Pep Guardiola is trying to get Lionel Messi to come to Man City. Why wouldn't he buy Grealish at Man City? How do you see that little match up?
Well, he's very good friends with Lionel.
Lionel player, yeah. Okay.
They were at Barcelona together. He's probably going to get him for no money or whatever, and it will be an experience, boost the crowd or whatever. I don't know if when the lockdown's over. Who knows? But I do know Jack Grealish can play in the Premier League. I think I would have my doubts about Lionel Messi doing it at this stage of his career in the Premier League. I think he'd be a target for a lot of defenders. I think a lot of defenders would target him to put him out.
I mean, he's that little sort of tricky weave in and out, the left foot,
Oh, he's been the best player in the world for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. He's been just an incredible talent. As he just passed that.
But would you pick Messi or Grealish today, currently? You've got an open checkbook. You can pay as much wages as you want.
In the modern game, in today's game, I'd have Grealish in my side instead of Messi because Messi plays the kind of game he can get away with Barcelona. Because if you watch him, if you study him, I've spent time watching him in games when he walks about a lot.
Right.
He's what they used to call a luxury, but when he gets the ball, he's explosive. He's fantastic. But I really don't think he'll get away with that in the Premier League.
No.
I really don't.
Well, getting back to England, getting back to possible superstars in the making, they're talking about Phil Foden. 2 goals the other night, another left footer. He is dangerous around the box.
Well, we liked him straight away, didn't we?
Young lad.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd hate it that they're just going to buy players and someone like him is going to be on the bench. When you've got the luxury of paying 50, 60, 70, 100 mil for players at will, and then you've got one of your own coming up and he's just going to be sat on the bench and brought on. That kid's got to be playing all the time, folks.
Yeah, the only thing that bothers me is history tells me that I've seen so many young England squads that have been screamed about that this is their time. That when they step up that level, they played Iceland the other night. I think I could have got a team from the Golden Line.
Not the Golden Line again now. No,
Yeah. Well, the Golden Line.
They have some good players in that.
They have. Trust me. So they keep telling me. But you could get a team. You know, the Iceland are gone as a nation now. To think,
but it was a nothing game, a no pressure game. You know, everyone can play when it's no pressure. You don't have to beat Iceland. You're going home. They're going home. Okay, let's get the game out of the way. We've got a Premier League game this week.
You mentioned earlier on that Southgate wants to win this competition, and yes, he did want to win it because nobody's won a competition since 1966. But I'm afraid that's not good enough. The competition is no good. They should have scrapped it. When the pandemic come up, they should have scrapped that, because if there's no crowd going to matches, then what's the point? Scrap it.
Yeah.
It's a nothing competition. And who fought it up, I would put against the wall, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's nice. No, I didn't mean that. Getting back to England, I'd like to see our midfield. I mean this. Grealish on the left. I'd like to see Rashford on the right attacking, Sterling withdrawn, Kane up the top, Henderson, and who would be your other one? Mason Mount, maybe? Are you impressed with him? I
think that
I mean, Rice and Henderson are okay together, but are we going to win anything with them?
No.
Both of them playing at one time.
As I say on every show we do, there's international players and club players, and it's a big step up when you step up and play against the top players. Jack can do it, no doubt. I've got reservations about Mount's very, very busy. I'd like to see them play against stronger opposition before I made my mind up, Don, in all fairness. People can sit down the other night and say they played against Iceland and then they played against someone before the Belgium game, and I mean the opposition was poor. And no, I don't judge players in games like that.
So we'll get off the England thing in as much as team selection. Is Southgate going to get the job done? What's his plan now?
What job?
Yeah, what is his plan now? We've just got eliminated at the early stages here. They've got obviously the Euros, basically going to be hosting England next year. He's got to have his mind set on a team that, like, you know, the semi-finals and the final are definitely here in London. The whole competition might even be in England, the way things are going around the world at the present time. What would he be building up for now? We now know he's 100% behind Grealish. The goalkeeper and defensive situation, I think, is a problem. I'm not sure about Pickford. You know, he's daydreaming after time, and he's making mistakes that really and truly he can't be generating a lot of confidence in the defenders at this moment. I know we got Pope, we got Henderson, but is he the best of a bad bunch at the moment, or where are we with these keepers?
Well, I'm not sure about the keepers. I think you could toss a coin, really, what one you pick. But I would be more concerned about the centre halves. I think they're not good enough. I don't think they're England material. I'm a bit. I think we're okay. The left back spot.
Yeah, I like the two outside fullbacks.
I like the Chelsea. I like both the Chelsea fullbacks. They're both good players, but down the middle we look very vulnerable. Again, they give the goal away. They make too many mistakes, Don, in the middle of them.
I did feel that Lukaku is just overpowering for the type of, you know, the dire people. You know, Maguire even. You know, Mings. You look and you just think, well, Lukaku's just too much of a handful for him. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. But we're over here, as I say, in the Canary Islands, and what a victory the other day. Spain 6, the Germans 0 out.
Yeah.
When it was 4, we're watching it and sort of getting the updates, and it was 4. We thought, oh, it's 5, 6.
I back 5-0, 7.
Indeed. Okay, so anyway, that's our words on the England, on the Jack Grealishes, on basically what we think should do. So, from me, Don, Alan, you guys stay safe in the UK. And some bit of good news I might have heard. It's a possibility, I've been told, that some fans will be allowed into ground soon now. In December even. That'd be fantastic. Even if it's only the home fans and a couple of thousand here or there.
Let's hope so. Let's really hope that.
Because we're all beginning to miss it now, not going to games. I know you don't go a whole lot. I do.
No, I do go when I'm invited into my friend's box at Stoke with Hanks on.
Yeah.
I love going to see my friends up there.
When you go there, the Bet 365, do they give you like a £500 charity bet?
They don't give me a free bet at all. In fact, they love taking my money. But no, let's hope that they do bring the crowds back into the ground, and let's hope it's successful, and let's hope we get away with it and we move forward.
And I've got to say, just before we finish, getting on to Championship quickly, your old friend Tony Pugh has got another job, Sheffield Wednesday. How do you see that?
I'm glad he's back in the game. Although our new friend doesn't like him. He calls him useless.
Yeah, well, everyone has their opinion now. Everyone
has their right.
Now he has told me for sure they play Preston away, and he said you can have your house on a 0-0.
Yes, well, I might.
There you go.
There you go. No, anyway, welcome back, Tony. He's a good man. Whether you like his football or not is debatable. He'd be good in the England job.
Yeah, he might sort that defence out. That's right.
He would sort the defence out.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, good luck, Tony, and good luck to everyone else out there. So from me, Don and Alan, have a great day. Bye for now.